guys, this is Snugsonblitz, and I'm back again to talk auctions with you. Why is that? Well, since we last spoke, a few new tanks have been added to the list, so I thought you might want to hear my take. Also, one tank has actually sold out. So if you wanted that tank, well, you won't be getting it in this year's auction. Hopefully you picked it up. Now, when I give my recommendations on prices, I'm always looking for great deals. But sometimes tanks do sell out sooner than they reach their ideal prices. So the question is, are you willing to pay a little bit extra to ensure you get a tank? That's a good question. One thing I would like to say before we go any further, and that is when it comes to tier 10 tanks, there will probably be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 tier 10 tanks. And so far, 2 have been released, which was the Chieftain, which has sold out. So sorry if you wanted that tank. And the T22. We'll find out where it is standing at present. But remember, throughout the year, you'll be able to get tier 10 tanks in the store, but they're never below 15,000, more like 17, 18, 20, 25, things like that. So anything under 15 is a good deal. So the Chieftain was 14K to start off with. But as I said, if you could wait until its lowest price, then pick it up. Again, unfortunately, it did not get that far because people picked it up or snatched it up right away, pretty much, and it only dropped down, I think, 1,000 gold, which is a shame. But hey, people want what the heart wants, right? Anyway, let's take a look at the tanks we've got left. 252. Last year, this did not sell it to the last day, so don't rush and get it. My guess is the final price will be about 5,000. That's what it was last year, so I don't think that will change. I do recommend this tank for newer players. It's not that exciting, but it can definitely get some crazy bounces, and it is a lot of fun for those giggles. The Hawk, look at that, barely sold. Why? Because it's not a very strong tank. I did hear Economics Mate mention that it was quite a solid tank. No, it's not. Not for the average player. If you're an average player or worse than an average player, this tank is going to be a tough ride for you. It's going to drop by 1,500 tomorrow, so 4,000. That's where I'm talking about a good deal for tier 8. If it can drop below that, I would definitely say it's worth adding to your garage. But is it a strong tank? No. Astron Rex, still too expensive. It's not that strong as well. It's a tough ride for most players. I think I would say, again, 5,000. Wait for it until the last day and it'll probably still be there. The FV201 for tier 7, that's not a bad price right now, 32.50, but it's going to drop down to 300, and look how many are left, 27.68. That's plenty. They're not going to sell. So just wait until the final price, and then if you want to get it, consider getting it. What else have we got left? You still got 1,000, or roughly 1,000 T22s. So they'll probably be around tomorrow for this price, 11.5. That would be my guess, and I don't think it's going to go less than that. Compounds are only 500 been sold, and still quite, it's a fair price for a tier 9 tank, I'll be fair, but it's an old tank. It is a very capable tank, no doubt, but only dropping by 250, that's kind of cheesy. So you're never sure how much these tanks are going to drop tomorrow. You estimate, the day after tomorrow, I should say. So it could drop by 500 tomorrow, who knows? So I'm saying around 8K, I think that would be a great deal. Hopefully it gets down there. But plenty of tanks left, so you should be fine. This one is only, again, dropped by 250. That stinks. Very capable tank. If you can get it for around 8.5, I think you're getting a very strong tank. So get it when this number drops below 500. Okay, that if you want to get these tanks, just look for this magic number. Below 500 is where you're going to need to pick up these tanks, because that's where it gets kind of dicey. What else we got? The AT-15A. This is a tank I actually recommend, but not at this price. It will not sell out. People do not like this tank. It's not popular, but it is surprisingly strong, and it is fun in tier 7, actually. I think this will last till the last day, so I think you're going to get this down to 3,000 or maybe 2,500. That price, I would say it's definite buy, but not now. Carnivore Defender, I won this in the Snow Globe this year. It's okay. There's many better defenders. This is one of the worst. It just doesn't feel strong at all. I don't recommend it. It's pretty big. So we're looking for the last day again on this. I don't think it will sell out until that time. So maybe 5K. If you can go below 5K, I would say, yeah, it's kind of a good deal because it's not that old.
And our last three tanks, the Sphere, the Skoda T27, and the Chieftain T95. I don't think the Chieftain T95 will sell out at all. It's not a popular tank. It's selling slowly, even at 7.5. That's way overpriced. Again, dropping down to 4,000. That's where I get excited. I think I bought this a few years ago for 4,000. So hopefully you can get it cheaper than that. That's I think it should be cheaper than it was available before. That's my opinion. The Sphere, this definitely will not sell out until I can't believe 5 people have bought it at that price. That is insane. It does look cool with the camo, but just wait until the last day. If you want to get it. But I would say around 3K. It's a tier 7 tank, for goodness sake. And the Skoda T27, it's a decent tank. It's mobile. It's kind of fun with those 3 shells. Again, just overpriced. This is not a carry tank compared to some of the other tanks you've been able to get for 7K or 6K in previous years, even 5K. I mean, the T77 was sold at the final day 5K last year. And I've seen the T5042 available for 6K. So, these are carry tanks. This is a fun tank. So wait for the last day. I don't think it'll sell out until then. I'm thinking around 5K would be a good price for this too. So there's all my thoughts on these tanks. You may not agree with me, but remember, we've got a bunch of tanks to still be released. There's 4 rounds of auctions. If you spend all your money now, well, that's what Wargaming really wants you to do, is spend a lot of money now and then have no gold left for the new tanks that come out. And so you go buy more gold in the store. But that's okay. These are kind of quote unquote bargains. I don't know if they are. I think the comment that you have to remember here is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, what you like and what I like are going to be very different. Maybe you like a fast tank. Maybe I don't. Maybe you like an armored tank. Maybe I don't. Maybe I like a tank that can be sneaky. Maybe you don't. So whatever you like, you've got to find the tanks that suit your playstyle first. Those are the ones you should go for first. Once you've gotten those tanks, you might want to pick up some of the tanks as challenge tanks, or you're curious about trying because you want to get better at, let's say, being a hull down heavy, or you want to be a good light tank. Then it's time to pick up these tanks. But those are not the tanks you should pick up at first, in my opinion. All of this, anybody on YouTube who says you should pick up a tank or shouldn't pick up a tank, I base it on what I see average people can do on the battlefield with these tanks, because I think most people are average players. Some are a little bit better, some are a little bit worse. Pros know what they like. They don't really need me to tell them what to get because they probably already decided. If you're here listening to me and you're a pro, great. I really appreciate that. I'm just giving you my years of experience playing pretty much every tank in the game except a handful. I think I'm missing about 30 or so tanks I just didn't get, or they were just too expensive. Little by little, I try to add tanks to my garage that I haven't got, even if I don't like them. But that's because I've got so many tanks. I just want to try something new, even though it sucks or it doesn't fit my playstyle. Like, it's cheap and I've got the gold. I've only got 25K right now. Unfortunately, I've got every one of these tanks except one. I'm going to wait until last day because it will not sell out. And maybe I'll add to my garage. But it's not that exciting. So maybe you can figure out which one it is. Let me know what you think it is in the comments below. But I'm looking forward to seeing what other tanks are coming. If you're curious about my predictions on what tanks may be available, well, I think the Draken Helsing will see the light of day, of course. Vindicator maybe, and the Predator, they're also often thrown in there as tier 7 tanks to add to the list. I do think you'll see the T54 Titan, I think that's what it's called. I think you'll see some more Defender tanks, maybe the AMX Defender, maybe the T28 Defender, and maybe the Defender Mark 1, basically a Centurion. They're common tanks to add to the list. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the TL120, something like that, the tier 9 American heavy tank that has a horrible reverse speed because it It's not often sold, and I think they'll just try and sell them off now. What else will we get? Just trying to think off the top of my head here. I think you'll see the Emil 1951. Maybe the Bisonte. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Bisonte will appear. Maybe the T54E2 again, although it was just available in the Black Friday event, so probably not. But the T77 probably will be here. You'll probably see the T95E6, maybe the Badger, maybe the VK9001, the AMX M454. Haven't really sat down to figure out which tanks I think they'll be. I've got a list from last year. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the WZ121 GFT as well. It's just getting old now. So those are my quick predictions and recommendations on the tanks that are out. Let me know what tanks you want to have, and I'll give you my thoughts at what price and whether I think you'll see them. Oops, I just went black here. There we go. I turned my thing back on. I apologize about that. So, yeah, let's see what happens, shall we? But I hope you can pick up something nice if you enjoy this game. If you don't, well, save your gold. There are better things out there to buy. It's Christmas after all. Get your partner, or your friend, or your buddy a present. They'll appreciate it. But if you want to buy something for yourself and you like running around with a digital tank that's on a screen that may or may not make you laugh or chuckle, you might want to pick up a tank or two. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I'll see you tomorrow. Snugsonblitz.